to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. Radio Days with Gary Music Miller. Now here's your co-host from the planet Vulcan, Dave Black.
Hello, everyone, once again, and welcome to Radio Days with Gary Music Miller. I'm Dave Black, your co-host. This is the aforementioned Gary Music Miller, longtime voice and on-air personality at WKEE. Also, at one time, for a short period of time, the program director, but a long-time music director. Program directing
the whole time. My whole career. It started in 71. I was music director at 4 different radio stations. And I was music director at Key from 78 to 2009, 31 years.
Now, you see what happens
I got to hear a lot of music.
When you dropped that news gig, everything went south, didn't it? Okay. We are, as usual, coming to you from the Museum of Radio and Technology. It's out 1644 and 70. You need to come out and check this place out. We'll talk about that at the end of the show as well.
Before we get into
this, Gary's got some things he wants to go over, and we have a pretty good topic for today.
Yeah, well, thank you, and thank you for tuning in. If you are a subscriber, we appreciate it. Definitely check us out. And if you are just hopping in for the first or second time, or you just found us by accident, we are a nostalgia channel that deals with music. I guess we probably started back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. So if you like stories about songs and artists, and you like to remember those things, we try to jar your memory, and we'll really jar your memory today with some songs I think we're going to bring up. I do want to mention one thing. Well, first of all, I need to show this.
It's still in the paper, the plastic, though.
Yeah, it's still in the plastic. I got a box in the mail a few days ago, and they're always saying, watch when you get a box from somebody, it could explode or something. But I went ahead and opened it and found Beatlemania, Meet the Beatles. I believe this is a large book. On the side it says it's by Bruce Spicer. I looked him up briefly. What I can remember is that he was one of the earliest people to work with the Beatles. I think he was the first president or had a high position with Apple Records, which was the Beatles thing. And this came to me, and it was huge, and it's so beautiful. I haven't even opened it up yet. But it came to us from our good friend Paul Urbans. Paul, if you've been with us for a while, Paul is like our resident radio historian, if you will. And that's probably going to crash during the podcast here today. But Paul has been on a couple of shows with us. We may have him back. We probably will. This thing from the Beatles just absolutely flabbergasted me. And until I looked under my mailing label, I found out who sent it. And I was like, who in the world would send us something from the Beatles in Louisiana, I think it was. But Paul, I have not written to you. I haven't been online for a while, and I want to personally thank you for this. I plan on enjoying it once I have the guts to open it. And it's almost too beautiful not to, to actually open. I did get one email. Not email, I'm sorry. It was a direct message to me on Twitter. It was from somebody named Kathy, and this was really nice. Kathy asked, did you ever play on the radio, not the song on the radio by Donna Summer, but did you ever play on the radio a song whose lyrics you just didn't understand? P.S. Found this found you online, old-time faithful Key listener. Kathy, thank you for that. And I actually went back through the archives, and season 2, episode 3, if you sign on to our channel, you get all of the videos we've ever done anything with. Well, I think you can get the entire library.
Yeah.
And season 2, episode 3 is made up of songs we like to joke about constantly that had words in them that I didn't know what the words meant. I didn't know what the words were. I'd never heard of the words before. And I found, I believe, 5 songs. And the classic one we joke about is You're So Vain by Carly Simon. You watch yourself gavotte. And I, for years, thought that she was saying, you watched yourself go hot, because I'd never heard the word gavotte. But there are words like gavotte, moot, other, just go back, Kathy, listen to, what was it, season 2, episode 3, I believe. And whatever I did with that. Season 2, episode 3. And you can hear the fun of me not knowing what they're saying in the song that I played. So
Pardon me.
Thanks again for tuning in. If you're tuning in accidentally, please consider subscribing. And stay with us till the end of the broadcast, because the podcast will always be broadcast on an old radio guy. But stay with us to the end of the podcast. We add 1 or 2 things at the end of every podcast that kind of go off in a different direction. So, with that said, do you want to introduce the subject or today?
I sure can.
Today's a great one.
Since this has been what you could call Grammy season, we have come up with, and we chose this decade because it's a decade that Gary really got started into radio,
right?
And it's a decade that kind of formed our musical taste, so to speak, and it's something that sticks with you. It's formative years of listening to the radio and the music that played and this, that, and the other.
Right. And I promise we did last show or 2 shows ago about one-hit wonders from 1976, and I promise we'll get out of the 70s eventually.
Well, not yet.
But not yet. Today we're gonna separate. Not what's the word I'm looking for? Concentrate on the entire decade.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
What we've got here is I've got a list of Song of the Year Grammy winners from the entire decade of the 70s.
1970 through
70 through 79. Gary, on the other hand, has got another tidbit that's associated, so to speak, with this. He's going to give you the album of the year.
Actually, right? I'm not.
Oh, you're not? I thought
I'm going to give the record.
Oh, the record of the year. Okay,
yeah,
there you go.
If we can think of albums, we will. A lot of people don't know there's a difference between Song of the Year and Record of the Year. And really, the Song of the Year, usually those Grammy Awards are presented to the songwriters.
Mm-hmm.
And Record of the Year usually goes to the artist that made that record. So that's the difference in a nutshell. You can look up more about it. I'm sorry to throw you off. I didn't even look really at the Album of the Year. I looked at Record of the Year and Song of the Year. Oh. And I think it will jar your memory banks if you were around in that era, and hopefully bring back some.
Okay. Well, let's kick this off then.
Absolutely.
1970 song called "Games People Play" by Joe South won for Song of the Year, the Grammy for Song of the Year.
1970 was the 12th annual Grammy Awards. Hard for me to believe Hard to believe that I'm so much older than the Grammy Awards. But 1970 was the 12th anniversary Grammy Awards. Record of the Year, I have a story about, and I'll try to be as succinct, but it's a great, great story. I've heard it many times over the years, and I actually heard it told by Billy Davis Jr. Record of the Year in 1970, which the 1970 Grammys were based on records released in 1969. We need to clear that up probably because it's very early in 1970 when the show airs. Aquarius, Let the Sunshine In. was the record of the year that year. There's so much to say. Record of the year usually goes to the most popular record of the year, the most votes, the most. 1969, the number one song of the year, you couldn't give a Grammy to this group because this group didn't exist. The most popular song generally known from 1969 is the Archies' Sugar, Sugar. And there's no escaping that song in 1969. I knew it, and I was 14, I guess. But Aquarius and Let the Sun Shine In was the song that won the Grammy for Record of the Year. Now, so many people have asked, I've heard this in discussion, how did Aquarius and Let the Sun Shine In were in the play Hair, in the musical play Hair. They were two different songs, and somehow this song got meshed together. And not only that, but then it was done by the Fifth Dimension. And so many people have said to me, how did the Fifth Dimension get involved with Hair, which was a very 60s, flower children, wild. There was nudity in the play and Hair. So let me tell you this story really quickly. I love this story. Billy Davis, I'll tell it as quickly as I can. Billy Davis Jr. and Marilyn McCoo were the two, if you will, leaders or front people for the Fifth Dimension. They were the two people, you knew their names.
And they were married together.
And they were married, absolutely.
To each other.
Absolutely. So Billy's in New York, where the Fifth Dimension are appearing, and he gets out of the cab and pays a cab driver. He goes up to his room, which is a suite, I'm sure, and Marilyn's there, and Billy's undoing all of his, changing his clothes and whatnot, and he says, "Ship." He says, "I can't find my wallet. I've lost my wallet." Well, Marilyn, being as supportive as she was, said, "You'll never find it. You'll never find it. You'll never get it back. You're going to have to redo your license. You're going to have to redo your credit cards. You're going to have to do any money you had with you. You'll never find it, An hour and a half later, they're still in their room. The phone rings, picks it up, and says, "Is this Billy Davis Jr.?" And Billy says, "Yes, it is." And he says, "I have your wallet." And he said, how did you find me?" He said, "Because the wallet was in the cab that dropped you off at the hotel you're at now. And all I had to do was ask somebody at the front desk where you were, how I could get a hold of you." So Billy gets his wallet back eventually. But before he does, he goes down and he meets the guy that found his wallet. And he says, "Here's a couple of tickets to our show tonight. Please come as my guest." And the guy takes him. And this is the guy that actually found the wallet in the cab. This is not the cab driver, I don't think. But anyway, Billy and Marilyn go. They had the night off, thankfully. They went and saw. They did not have. No, I'm sorry. I'm getting way ahead of myself. They were working that night. And so the guy that found Billy's wallet came to the show. They talk, and after the show, Billy thanks him for coming by. And the guy says, I came to your show tonight. I would like you to come to my show." And this is the guy, and Billy hardly even knows who he is. And he said, "Are you in a group? You're a singer, whatever?" He said, "No, I'm a producer of a Broadway musical that I want you to come see called Hair." So Billy and Marilyn graciously accept the invitation. And they get to the theater early, and they're walking through the halls, and they hear this song being sung by a group of extras, I guess you'd call them, or the choir from the group or whatever, from that were actually in Hair. They were singing Aquarius. And Billy looked at Marilyn and said, "My God, that is a hit song if I've ever heard one." And of course, Billy pretty much knew what they heard. He knew what he was talking about. 2 years earlier, in 1967, they won 5 Grammy Awards for Up, Up, and Away. So, Billy says something's a hit. He believes it, and you can believe it. So he commands, first thing he does is he talks to his manager, who's a guy named Bones Howe, producer and director of the Fifth Dimension and many other groups as well. He's a producer, and Billy says, "I found this song. I think it'd be great for us." He somehow gets a recording of the song and sends it to Bones Howe. Bones Howe listens to it, and Bones is just absolutely blown away by it, except that he didn't like the way the song ended. They did Aquarius, and they just faded it out on the recording. He said, "You need some kick-ass, pardon my expression, way of ending this song." So they, very long story here, but I will skip that part of it. They Bones puts together a medley of Aquarius and a very up-tempo song, "Let the Sunshine In." And so Bones puts it together, sends it to the Fifth Dimension. The Fifth Dimension are in Las Vegas now, and they put it all together, and through a long, tedious process to get everything mixed together and put together, Aquarius and "Let the Sunshine In" ended up with the Fifth Dimension. Two hit songs in one, 2 songs from the same soundtrack in one. I really don't know any other songs from that soundtrack other than "Hair" by the Cowsills, which was like the theme song. There was a song by a guy named Oliver called, I can't remember the name of it, but I'm not sure that was in that particular musical. But that's the story. I think I've covered it all, of how Billy Davis lost his wallet, goes up, the guy finds his wallet, gets in touch with him. They get involved with Hair. Aquarius comes to Billy's attention, and Bones Howe puts together Aquarius with "Let the Sunshine In." And one of the lines, they let Billy go wild on "Let the Sunshine In." Are you aware of the song pretty much?
No, I'm just thinking of Billy going wild.
He did, yeah. Well, they did. They said, "Billy, go in and start singing."
Billy, go wild.
So they're going, "Let the sunshine, let the sunshine in, the sunshine in." And then Billy starts going, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah. And, doing everything Billy can do, ad-libbing. And one of the lines he says in the song is, "Sing along with the Fifth Dimension now." And that absolutely blew everybody away. And the song became a huge hit, probably one of their most recognizable hits, and won the Record of the Year in 1970 against the likes of "A Boy Named Sue" and what's the other song? "Spinning Wheel" by Blood, Sweat, and Tears were up for Record of the Year that year, but Aquarius, "Let the Sunshine In" was the 1970 Grammy for that. And that's the end of the story, but I love that story about, how everything comes together.
How Johnny Cash didn't win, I'll never know.
Johnny Cash, I know,
Okay.
exactly. Okay,
1971. Let's move along.
let's do.
One of the greatest songs in pop music history, I think, my opinion, One in 1971 is Bridge Over Troubled Water by Simon and Garfunkel.
It certainly did, and it was so good. It also won the record of the year.
I can
the
see why.
Same year.
Okay. Do you have anything else to add to that?
Not Over Bridge,
No.
except that it was up against a song that I'm kind of surprised did not win a Grammy. I don't know whether they ever won a Grammy, but it was up against We've Only Just Begun by the Carpenters.
Yeah.
But Bridge Over Troubled Water was a song and the record of the year in 71.
Yeah. Okay. In 1972, a song written by all people by Carole King, who wrote really a lot of songs that people don't know about.
She sure did.
Prolific writer. The songs You've Got a Friend by James Taylor.
Yep. And Lou Asher and Carole King won the record of the year for It's Too Late. So It's Too Late was, I believe, on Tapestry. I believe Tapestry was the album that Carole King had.
Right.
Everything. Everybody went. It was like the biggest selling album up to that time.
Right.
So.
Okay. 1973 was the beginning of back-to-back years for this singer having the Grammy for Song of the Year. 73 was First Time Ever I Saw Your Face. 74 was Killing Me Softly with This Song. And of course, that is Roberta Flack.
And
recently passed away not long ago. As a matter of fact, it's been.
The 74 was written by a great Sound of Philadelphia duo, Charles Fox and Norman Gamble. Gamble and Fox wrote a lot of disco music, and I'm trying to see if I have Joel Burns, the actual guy that got Record of the Year for First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, and Evan McCall was the writer who received the award for First Time Ever I Saw Your Face.
Wow.
And we go to that pretty much, I think, takes care of it. Up to 75.
Move on to 75. The Way We Were by Barbara Streisand was the Grammy winner that year. That we'll leave you in suspense for a little bit, but she comes up again in the list. So do you have anything?
Leaving me in suspenders too. Alan and Marilyn Bergman actually won the Song of the Year.
Wow. For
The Way We Were. And I will mention the Best New Artist of that year, I think also was involved in the writing of that song. Best New Artist was Marvin Hamlish.
Yes, he was.
Marvin was,
he was
got
the
very
entertainer.
well known for The Entertainer.
From the movie Sting, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. In 1976, now, some people like this type of music. I didn't consider it as, to be in that genre at all.
And I talked to a couple of people who don't remember the song at all.
Well, I do. And it was Send in the Clowns by Judy Collins. It just for some reason didn't fit the genre at all, but it won the Grammy of the Year, or Song of the Year Grammy for
Song of the Year?
76.
The one of the songs that was up that I was not sure won Record of the Year was This Masquerade by George Benson, and another song that a lot of people weren't real familiar with. Interestingly enough, the Song of the Year was written. Grammy Award went to Bruce Johnson, who wrote I wrote the songs, which Barry Manilow, of course, had a huge hit with, but Barry did not write that song.
No.
Bruce Johnson wrote the song. So,
however, in 1977, I Write the Songs was the Grammy-winning Song of the Year. Yeah. That's ironic, isn't it?
It was a Song of the Year.
And Barry Manilow, by the way, is canceled all of his tour dates because he is extremely ill at this point, not knowing, nothing's been released of what his illness is, but he had still a lot of dates remaining in Las Vegas and this, that, and the other, but he has scrapped all those for the time being because of an illness.
And I believe that was record of the year, or that was the song of the year, right?
Right.
Record of the year actually did go to George Benson's This Masquerade.
Wow.
So it was up twice and covered the 76, 77 period. So they were able to get it into both of those. And we're up to 1978.
78. Once again, as I alluded to earlier, Barbara Streisand had the Song of the Year with Evergreen. It's from a movie, I believe. And
A Star is Born.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Streisand fan by any stretch, but she is one of the two people that had also. Oh, let me add, there was a tie that year. 78, there was a tie.
That's
the co-winner was "You Light Up My Life" by Debbie Boone.
Yeah.
They had that in there as well. But she made the list twice, and Roberta Flack made the list twice for songs that got the Grammys for Song of the Year.
Yeah, well, for Record of the Year, Joe Brooks wrote "You Light Up My Life." He won the songwriters. Usually that's the Song of the Year, but it turned out the other way around. And might mention Evergreen, Stars Born, was co-written by Barbara Streisand and Paul Williams.
Yeah. Paul Williams was a prolific writer as well.
He was a prolific writer and star of Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, it wasn't Burt Reynolds by any stretch.
Forget Burt Reynolds.
Okay, if you don't have any more, let's get to the last song of the decade. 1979 was "Just the Way You Are" by Billy Joel.
And that's also the Record of the Year. And Phil Ramone of the Ramones got the Grammy Award for writing that song. And Billy Joel, "Just the Way You Are."
He really wanted it to be called "I Want to Be Sedated," but they changed it. And
which is "Just the Way You Are."
So the Ramones didn't get their way that time.
Right, exactly. Okay, I think that covers our 1970s look at Grammy Awards. If there's anything you want to add, do so down below or write us at rdwgmm@gmail.com. And you can mention artists, albums of the year if you'd like, and any other subject you might want to mention. I usually have the sad obligation, I feel like now, because I've done it so many times, to mention recent deaths in the music industry. And I actually did not go through who have passed away in the last 2 weeks or so since we've done our last show. But you reminded me this guy is way up there as far as I'm concerned. Neil Sedaka. He had late 1950s, early 1960s song. "Breaking Up Is Hard to Do" is actually up for a Grammy during the 70s.
Yeah.
75, 76. And but he originally released a fast version of that song in the early 60s, I believe, and then he came back with and turned it into a ballad right around 1975 or so. He wrote "Love Will Keep Us Together" and recorded that song on his first comeback album, which basically was thanks to Elton John finding him and realizing he didn't have a record label. He couldn't believe it. So Elton signed him to his Rocket Records, I believe. And he did "Laughter in the Rain," and trying to grab that song. "Laughter in the Rain" was his real comeback song. "Love Will Keep Us Together." If you listen very closely to the end of "Love Will Keep Us Together," you'll hear Tony Tennille sing "Sedaka is Back."
Yeah.
So she helped promote him a little bit, and then he did Laughter in the Rain, which blew everything else out of the water. That was one of my favorite songs of all time. That's the kind of song that appeals to me. He did a song called The Immigrant, and which is certainly interesting to listen to today. And then he did Bad Blood with Elton John. And I may be missing one or two things that he did, but
Well,
Neil Sedaka just passed away.
I find it interesting. I've seen people stand in the rain a lot, and I've never seen them laughing.
Well, they say let a smile be your umbrella, and you'll have a mouthful of rain.
Yeah, that's true. And I've seen a lot of people standing in the rain, never seen any of them laughing at it. So
I hear laughter in the rain, walking hand in hand with the one I love.
So do you have anything that we got to hear?
I do have a You Gotta Hear.
All right.
You've heard all of mine, and you don't like a one album. I don't know how many times I've done this, probably 4 or 5 times.
Well, we'll find one of these days. It might work.
I have a song that I don't have a lot of history on it. I don't have history on the group. The group was called, pardon me, the group was called Clear Your Throat. The group is called Free Movement. Free Movement, about 1968-69, did a song called I Found Someone of My Own. You may be familiar with the song, you may not.
I am.
They say you found somebody new to take my place. You don't have to feel so all alone. I found someone of my own. Good song, and decent song, and understandable why that became a hit. The follow-up to that song is a song I defy you, I defy anybody else, anybody to listen to this song. This song absolutely fell through the cracks. It did not become a hit song. It is the story of a guy that just cannot get over losing his partner, his wife or his girlfriend. And the song is called The Harder, it's a parenthetical song.
Oh.
The harder I try, in parentheses, the bluer I get. It was such a hit, I found this guy singing it, and he's in front of hundreds of thousands of people, and it's like in Portugal or Paraguay or some other country.
Yeah.
And the video is posted on YouTube, and you can tell it's a big hit because the audience is singing along with it. And this guy really does a really good job of doing it, and he does it in English. And so I would like you to check out YouTube, and you got to hear this. I can't imagine anybody listening to this song and detesting it. It's, the words are, I find myself that I can't sleep. All day long I walk the street. The guy is so hung up on this girl. My heart is filled with misery and pain. Tears fill my eyes when I speak your name. Oh, girl. The harder I try, the bluer I get, by Free Movement. Go listen to that song and tell me you don't think that's a hit song. I actually had 2 or 3 DJs that were friends of mine, including a guy named Dave the Rave, who is on Top Shelf Oldies, which is an oldies online channel that plays songs you've never heard of. And he played this song, and he said, in fact, those were his words, this song really fell through the cracks. Should have been a hit. So The Harder I Try, the Bluer I Get, by Free Movement. Leave your comments. Listen to the song, leave your comments in the comment section, or write me online at rdwgmm at gmail.com.
We all know how big that song was in Paraguay.
Well, I
And,
don't know. I honestly don't know. It might have been Ecuador. It might have been Peru.
Well,
I really don't know. I have to go back and look.
anywhere in South America, Southern
Somewhere.
Hemisphere, I'm sure is popular.
It was
It also could have been written about a guy who had some bad Taco Bell. I don't know.
yeah.
It's
The
just,
harder I try, the bluer.
yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't the bluest man in town or anything like that.
That's right. No, it wasn't. Speaking of blue, but
So,
go
but
listen to that song, please, for me, and tell me whether or not you think it should have been a hit. You don't have to say I love the song, but to say you're right, that should have been a hit. And that was a song I heard in around 72, 73, right before 74, when I got to be a top 40 program director. I'm sorry, top 40 music director in 1974 at WCMI in Ashland. And I would have played it had I been a music director in 72 or 73 when it came out. And I got to hear it because I got to hear a lot of records that people did not get to listen to. And it's your chance to play music director. So there you go.
Are you done?
I am.
All right. I'm done too. We are finished. We thank each and every one of you for stopping by and spending some time with a couple old buddies that you're now old buddies too. So we sit and talk music together and enjoy our silly banter back and forth sometimes. And
we do love music, and it's a nostalgic music channel, and it's my honor to have been music director all those years.
Yep. So if you want to get a hold of Gary, he's mentioned it a couple of times, email address rdwgmm@gmail.com. You can also get a hold of him on X. It's at Gary Music Miller.
A lot of people have been writing me on the personal note state on that.
Mm-hmm.
So a personal message.
Send me a direct message. Yeah,
direct message.
And pardon me, I'm a little parched there.
Me too.
Also, somehow he's gotten away from Facebook, from what he used to be. But you can still send a message there, and just look him up. You'll find him somewhere. Also, we come to you. I mentioned this earlier, but we're coming to you from the Museum of Radio Technology at 1640 Florence Avenue here in Huntington. You need to come and take a look at it. Please do so. Check them out online, mrtwv.org. You can see all the stuff in here. It's just, you can spend some time in here looking at things because it's like the Smithsonian of broadcasting to me. It's just, they've got everything.
Well, if you like hearing old stories like I told about Billy Davis, and you like hearing, remembering old music, this is a good channel for you. And we hope if you're tuned in, you'll subscribe. That would really make us look good with you too.
I went to school with a guy named Billy Davis.
Billy Davis Jr.?
No, it wasn't the same guy, but at least I can say it was. Okay, we're done. We appreciate each and every one of you for staying around, tuned in, and turned on, as I used to say back in the and in the old days. You turn on, tune in.
Yeah.
But we do appreciate you more than you know. So like, share, subscribe. Leave us a comment down and below the video. We'd appreciate hearing from you. With that said, we're done. We're going to go out and hit the town. So you have a nice week. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time. God bless. So long.